Welcome to DIY Joker. Look forward to all the mean comments below, but we do welcome lots of criticism since, after all, this is DIY Joker. So how to move your gas meter? Well, obviously you can't move your gas meter. The gas company needs to move it, but you are responsible for what goes on in your house. So basically the gas meter company will cut it here, fill it in with foam, and move the meter to where you guys agree. Right here is where it enters my crawl space. And that's where I'm responsible for all the piping, pressure testing, and connecting to gas appliances. The reason I'm moving it is because here's my gas meter here. This layout here of where the patio is we're going to pretty much be doubling the square footage of our house. And I'm going to be doing a lot of the work. So hopefully more videos to come, some Joker videos. So obviously we need to move the gas meter. I'm going to move it to this side of the house. The next picture shows that. This green tag, I'll get to that in a couple pictures. But what I wanted to do is create first is a meter stub out. I like something that's firm that I can screw into place so that the new meter, which is going to go right around here, has something firm to connect into. And these meter stub outs, you think they'd be super easy to find, but they're not. I did not find them at Home Depot. In fact, I don't even see them listed. Lowe's as well. Couldn't find it. So what I ended up doing was going to a company called PEX Universe. Lowe's does distribute for this company. Well, I should say this. ProFlex is the name of the company. And PEX Universe sells their material. So does Lowe's, but PEX Universe has a lot more stuff in stock. I went with 3/4 inch pipe at my meter, and then segued that to 1/2 inch when I hit my appliances. And this meter is just a black steel stub out. It's really easy to connect to. So I do recommend checking out PEX Universe. But at least this stub out was really helpful. So after we connect here, we're going to go into the crawl space. Here is the picture of the stub out here into my crawl space. Yes, I know I used a lot of pipe dope there. People tend to do that when they're first learning how to use pipe dope. Here's a wrench from my grandfather. It's got to be pretty darn old. It's a rigid one. I think he bought it at Sears. Really curious if anyone knows in the comment section the year on that. I don't know if that's enough information, but it worked like a charm. So ProFlex, as I mentioned earlier, is the company I went with for my CSST pipe. I'm going to show you their material here, sold through PEX Universe. ProFlex makes this stub out, but really what they're making is CSST pipe, which is flexible gas pipe. I did not go with any black steel or black iron steel. Just is a lot easier. This is out of stock now, but I was able to buy it at the time, 75 feet worth. Flak jacket is what the product I used. This is the fitting that you saw. Actually saw this fitting right here. This one right here is where you will pipe dope it onto your black steel stub out. And this part here connects as well. A reason I liked this company, ProFlex, is because they have this little rubber red gasket, which I think provides it an extra level of security. A lot of other brands at Home Depot and some other manufacturers, they don't. They just have kind of like a metal ring, but ProFlex has kind of, it seems more heavy duty and safer, or more secure. I don't know if safer is the word, but here's is connected together. Here is the pipe dope on this fitting. You're not going to use pipe dope here. There's a lot of videos. There's a couple videos. ProFlex has a video in how to secure it. It's very easy. I will say, though, I think they are missing the mark on one thing that's pretty important. So when I connected this, the instructions say to hand tighten and then twist with a pipe wrench a 1/4 turn. I air tested it and the thing was gushing air. You really got to do a full turn in order, and then it was fine. It held pressure. It held pressure, no problem. So you'll go about, once you hit a 1/2 turn, you'll hear it squeak a little bit, but you can keep going. I did call the company, and I think you can go up to a pretty high amount on torque poundage. You could snap the uh the red gasket if you go crazy, but you definitely got to tighten it more than a quarter turn. I'll tell you that. I would just tighten maybe a 3/4 turn, and if it's still leaking, go for a full turn. This black, it's usually yellow, is a lot of the CSST pipe. However, I went with the black, which is they call the flak jacket. Some other companies have black as too, and it's just a lot more arc resistant than the yellow. Basically, if your house ever gets struck by lightning, the yellow has a higher probability of there puncturing a hole in the gas line. The black is much more resistant. It was only a few extra bucks, well, maybe 80 bucks more than Home Depot, but I figured why not spend it, saving money on not using a plumber. The black is super tough to cut. In videos, couple videos of ProFlex, people are cutting it with a razor blade. I don't think so. I mean, that thing is really intense. I probably shouldn't have this exposed, but it's not the end of the world. I think there's some tape you could put on it, but I think I'll be fine. What I used was a CSST cutter. I'll show you that right here to score it. They're expensive, but they come in handy. You're certainly going to need one if you're going to cut this pipe. And it helped score it. And then from there, I was able to kind of get the black sheathing off with a razor blade. But it took work. That was probably one of the hardest parts of the job, to be honest with you. Here it is connected in or screwed in or secured in. I used not yellow, metal or steel brackets here. I was really curious what you can use for CSST pipe. There really is no guidance out there. I know in Indiana the code is to use metal, so I said, why not? Must be fine to use. There it is, continuing on. I just did a straight shot, one connection at the gas meter stub out all the way to my appliances. Here is the current, well, the old version. Here's my water heater, furnace. Here is the piping. Right here is where it comes through from the crawl space, and I did eventually cut that and put in fresh piping, but this was all the old piping that I ripped out. Not room to work with here at all for pipe work. So what I did was cut a hole here and created an access panel on the other side of the wall. I ended up buying cut this out and buying a white kind of plastic thing you can pop in from Home Depot. I'll show you a picture of that later. But here's the other connection from the stub out to this stub out, which is here. I use this stub out once I hit the appliances. Here's my connection here. Remember, no pipe dope here. They say a quarter turn after you hand tighten. I went to at least a full turn. And then on this connection, you'll pipe dope to the stub out. Don't forget to use your bonding clamp as well. They sell that at ProFlex has that as well, but you could use any bonding clamp. It doesn't have to be theirs per se. So you'll bond that and you'll run that 6-gauge copper wire to your panel, your bonding bar. I'm not your bonding bar, your ground bar, your ground bus bar. My electrician told me it was probably overkill, but I did it anyway. That's what they wanted. And then I also secured a little between the studs here, kind of a 1x4, just to give it a little. I like to have the piping be secure. Here is that other stub out that I created, and from there I used black steel because it's just more secure. So like I said, I ran 3/4 inch all the way to the appliances, and right here is a reducing valve. You'll see that 1/2 here and 1/2 here, and now it becomes 1/2 inch to my emergency shut-off valves. You're going to need to cap it off with these caps, and I used the yellow gas tape, which I just didn't want to use pipe dope because it's going to come off eventually. The purpose of capping these off is to pressure test. In our county, we needed to have 15 PSI for like an hour or two. I ended up having 15 PSI for 24 hours, so I knew I was good. And pressure testing. So this is where the new, this is the stub out outside, and this is where you're going to pressure test. So basically the air is going to hold from here, point A, to here, point B. And this is obviously going to be installed. This is just easier to hand tighten before I put it in. Here I was messing around. I think I had it like 9.5. This is where you're gonna connect your pressure, your air inflator into. Show you. This is the air inflator I used. This is the test gauge. It got some bad reviews, but did not work for me with a bike pump at all. But when I hooked in this rigid inflator, which is a good thing to have anyway for filling up tires, you connect this part right into here, and it just easy 1, 2, 3 and pumped right up. So I do recommend that. And then the next picture, which I did show, I did pass my pressure test. So the county wanted to see 15 PSI for a certain amount of time. And then they'll put, what they do in our county is put a green tag on. I'm sure other counties or other areas of the country, there's some tag that they provide. So the utility, the gas utility company will not give you a new meter or move your meter or secure a new meter in until there is this tag here. So it means that obviously the gas lines are not leaking. You don't want that. Here is the new meter that was installed. I actually used the same meter, but replaced some new parts in it. So it's up to date. And I'm not finished yet because I still have to make sure everything's connected at my appliances. So once I passed my pressure test and my new meters installed, I had to remove those caps and put in gas connectors. And I wanted to show you, here is a gas connector, a Brasscraft gas connector. Before I show you the connector I used, I think it's important because here's the gas flow coming in here, that your sediment trap is going with it. I've seen a lot of water heaters or furnaces where the flow of gas is going this way and the sediment trap is here, but I don't think it's actually catching anything that way. Also be careful on water heaters, this metal, I don't know what you want to call it, but you could damage it if you over tighten. So you certainly want it tight. Use pipe dope here, but you could damage it. So make sure to not over tighten. Pipe, in terms of the Brasscraft, there's two connections. There's one here that's going to get pipe doped, and then this one right here will not get pipe doped because it's a compression fitting. Same with the furnace here. I ran my sediment trap such as this, and here is the second gas connector. Here are my shutoff valves. Here, there's one underneath it, and I think that means I'm pretty much done. I want to show if I had any other products I wanted to share. I don't think I did. Once again, I do recommend PEX Universe, or really recommending ProFlex. PEX Universe has a lot of their stuff in stock. Saved a lot of money doing this because I didn't hire a plumber. I did it myself. And if I can do it, if the Joker can do it, you can do it. And just do your homework. This will help you. I did want to point out one last thing. This hole in the wall, there's an access panel. I bought this white kind of snap-in access panel at Home Depot. I think it was 24 by 24 inches or something like that. They have all different sizes, but this helped because there was no space here. So drop some comments. Hopefully there won't be too many of them. But once again, I am a joker, so I'm still figuring out how to do things. Hopefully I did it somewhat professional. I'll learn the hard way by doing a lot of studying, so hopefully this is going to make your life easier, which is what I want to do. Take care, all.